Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from ZoZoStockWatch.com, and this is your Let's Get Ready for the Week Ahead, August 20th through the 24th. We'll go ahead and take a look at some of the action in the markets this week. We'll look and see what things are on our plate for the week ahead. We'll also look and see what earnings are coming up for the week ahead. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the markets and some of the action that passed for the week that we just came out of. For the sector watch here, we have the XLP leading us up for the week. We're up over 3% on the consumer staples sector. The IYR, which is the REITs, the real estate index fund, that came in at second place, up 3% for the week. We also had the XLU. All right, another interest-bearing utilities up 2.89% for the week. The XLV was up almost 2% for the week. Healthcare sector, XLI, which is the industrial sector, up over 1.5% for the week. The Dow Jones led the week this week, being up Friday, 111 points on Friday. For the week, it ends up 1.41%. The IYT, the transports, continue to move up. They were up 1.36% for the week. The XLF almost up 1%. That's the banking index there. The SPY was up fractionally. The IWM up just under 0.5% for the week. The XRT was up just under 0.5% for the week. Home builders got a little move up this week, up fractionally for the week. IWC ended up the week flat. If we look at the Nasdaq and the tech stocks were down this week. So the Nasdaq closed the week negative on the comp and the QQQs. The IBB was down fractionally for the week. Turkey was down fractionally for the week. XBI, the biotechs, the mid-cap biotechs, down over 1% for the week. The SMH is what hit the market, the Nasdaq composite the most. That was down close to 3% for the week. Oil was down close to 3% for the week. The XLE, which is the energy sector ETF, was down almost 4% for the week. Oil itself, the XOIL, light sweet crude oil, while we did hold up above that $65 level, we were still down close to 4% in the WTI. XME, the metals and mining ETF, this was down 4% for the week. The VIX also losing 4% for the week. XOP, which is the exploration, oil and gas exploration, that was down close to 5% for the week. And the OIH, the service sector, such names as Schlumberger, Halliburton, Rig, down close to 6%. The charts of some of the sectors that we just went through. As you can see here, the SPY daily chart. Friday, investors were more comfortable in putting on risk. So Friday we had a good day up in the markets. The SMH, like I said, was down. Nvidia, AMAT, Micron, Intel, AMD. Commodity stocks took a hit on the strength of the U.S. dollar. China sending a delegation to the U.S. It should be around the end of August, so that's kind of what spurred the market move up. And Turkey bounced back a little bit on Friday, helping to have investors feel a little more comfortable with putting money at risk. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY. Right now, we are holding above this 280 level, as we've been talking about in the videos. The 280 level has been very important. As you notice, on Wednesday, the 15th of August, we came down to 280.16, and then we were up pretty much for the rest of the week after coming close to touching it. Now, below that, we have the 50 SMA on the SPY. That is around 278.89. So keep that in mind. Some areas to watch, that 280 level, and then your 50 SMA on the daily chart. Let's go ahead and look at the weekly chart. As you can see, the SPY is holding above the 10 SMA here on the SPY on our weekly chart. Nice trend up, and we are just below those highs back in January of 286.63 on the SPY. The Qs today on Friday or for the week actually came down and touched the 10 SMA area on the weekly chart here, but we're still holding above. But we do have some weakness in the SMH, as you can see here on the SMH. We are below the 10 SMA on the weekly chart. If you look at Nvidia, that is below the 10 SMA now. Intel remains below the 10 SMA in the SMH. AMAT is below the 10 SMH. MU remains below the 10 SMH on the weekly chart. If we go ahead and look at TXN, that one is also below the 10 SMH. AMD holding strong. AMD probably the strongest semiconductor name out there right now, holding above the 10 SMA. You see the touch here and here on the weekly 10 SMA for AMD, and then the bounces off of it. Has that $20 number up ahead, but AMD right now the strongest in the SMH sector. Let's get and look at the IWM. And we'll look at that on the weekly chart also. As you can see, that is holding above the 10 SMA currently with about that 170 number up ahead on the IWM. The IWC, which is the micro cap, Russell micro cap, that is below the 10 SMA right now on the weekly chart for the IWC. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the sectors that were strong. We'll look at the banking sector. I'm not going to do too many, but for the XLF, that's holding above the 10 SMA on the weekly chart. We had a previous weekly high of 28.56. We're currently at 28.17 for the XLF. As far as the XLP goes, nice move up, showing good strength. Consumer staples holding up very well, and the healthcare sector also holding up very well currently. Like we said, oil took a hit this week. Commodities took a hit with the strength in the dollar. Oil remains below the 10 SMA on the weekly chart, but is trying to hold around this $65 a barrel level at the moment. All right, but a lot of weakness with the dollar moving. UP has been holding strong here. If we look at it on the daily chart, you see each day the strength growing in the UUP and still holding above the 50 and the 10 SMA on the daily chart for the dollar, the US dollar. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things that we have coming up for the week ahead. First, we'll start off with the calendar from the trade exchange. We still have earnings coming out. We'll get more into that in a second. On Monday, the 20th, we have some Fed speak. It starts at 11 o'clock, so that'll be on the 20th. Other than that, not too much macro information coming out on the 20th. For Tuesday, we have Redbook, and we also have the API crude oil data, but that comes out after the market closes at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday, we have the FOMC minutes coming out at 2 o'clock. So that's a highlighted economic event there for Wednesday, the 22nd. Thursday, we get the Jackson Hole annual symposium starts, and that'll be on Thursday, the 23rd. That's from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So that'll be beginning. And then, as you can see in the purple, on the 21st, you have some biotech news coming out from AGIO. MNK is on Wednesday, the 22nd. On Thursday, the 23rd, you have KALI, Merck, REGN for biotech information. We also have initial jobless claims coming out on Thursday, so a little bit heavier with the economic information on Thursday. So that'll be a big day to watch the economic information, and comments from Jackson Hole continue on Friday. And then we also have some Fed speak coming at 10 o'clock from Jerome Powell, and that's on Friday, the 24th. We also have the Baker Hughes rig count. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, the 24th. All right, and we still have some earnings coming out this week. This courtesy of Earnings Whisper. We have Kohl's. We'll be having earnings on Tuesday before the bell. Not much as far as larger companies on Monday before or after the bell. ST Lauder before the bell on Monday. EL. Then after that, like I said, we go into before the open, and we have Kohl's, TJ Maxx, Toll Brothers, Medtronics. Also, after the close on Tuesday, we have Urban Outfitters, Pure Storage, PSTG, symbol there. Wednesday, before the open, we have Momo, MOMO, Chinese company. Target will be reporting, TGT, symbol there before the bell. Lowe's, Analytic Devices will be reporting before the bell Wednesday. L Brands reports after the bell on Wednesday. That's LB, the symbol there. Thursday before the open, we get Alibaba, BABA will be reporting, Hormel, Children's Place, to mention a few there. After the close Thursday, we have Splunk, SPLK for Splunk, Viva, Autodesk, Hewlett Packard, VMware, VMW, symbol there, Intuit, Gap, and Ross. So more retailers and a mixture of tech and retailers on Thursday after the bell. And then Friday before the bell, we have Foot Locker, symbol FL. That'll be reporting. So that might affect names like Under Armour and Nike. So the earnings parade continues. It should really slow down after this week coming up. But some highlighted companies here for you in the red boxes for earnings. Once again, some of the sectors that showed strength in the S&P 500, we had the XLP, we had the XLF, XLV, XLI, we also had the XLK, and the XLU showing the most strength to the downside. XLB, XLE were moving down on the S&P, the sectors. Some unusual call activity courtesy of the trade exchange. We had TNDM getting call activity, unusual call activity. BP, CCK. To the put side, we had ETFC and ORCL. Unusual call activity from Friday's session, courtesy of the trade exchange. Some news that came out courtesy of the trade exchange over the weekend and after Friday's market close. We had the S&P lowering Turkey's sovereign rating to a B plus from a B minus, maintains outlook as stable. Fitch also affirms Russia as a BBB minus, outlook positive for Russia. Turkey markets are going to be closed next week, Tuesday through Friday next week. So that's the Turkey markets are closed Tuesday through Friday next week. The ETF for Turkey is TUR. Let's see, CDTX, the CFO steps down. HSGX, they filed a 75 million S3, NDRA and 10 million mixed shelf, ABEO, 150 million open market sale agreement with Jefferies, and that's on ABEO. Some stocks talked about in Barron's over the weekend: Walmart, STT, Verizon, all mentioned in Barron's over the weekend. ASLN granted FDA orphan drug designation, so that was on ASLN over the weekend that came out. North Korea agrees to UN inspection of its missile launch site. So the UN and North Korea coming to an agreement there. Press releases over the weekend. BBOX, Black Box Corporation, announces definitive agreement for the sale of its federal government IT services business, and Walmart and investment in Flipkart. All right, and India's leading marketplace e-commerce platform. So Flipkart and Walmart coming to the completion of that agreement. And that's courtesy of the Trade Exchange. Some news that came out over the weekend. So some of the stocks that were the best stocks for the week, we'll go ahead and start out with Nordstrom. After their earnings, stock moved up 13% for the week. They raised projections and beat on earnings. Walmart had a very terrific, nice week, up almost 9% on Walmart after their earnings came out. Tapestry, also, this is the old Coach. Also, they own Kate Spade. This stock was up 7% for the week. DKS. Moving up with the other retailers, this stock up 8% for the week on DKS. KMB, Kimberly Clark with a nice move up over 9% for the week. Apple moving up strongly this week, up 5% for the week. STX bouncing back from last week, up 7% for the week on STX. Teva, the one that Warren Buffett is involved with, and also they got approval for their EpiPen generic approval. So Teva had a good week, up 8% for the week. MTFB got FDA accepted their filing for a new drug application on MTFB. Stock was up 10% for the week. PETQ, after their earnings release, stock moved up 27% for the week. CGC, as you know, Constellation Brands is taking a $4 billion stake in this CGC. Stock was up 19% for the week. TLRY, a pot stock, moved up on that news with CGC, up 19% for the week also, and CRON also moved up 10% for the week. Another pot stock that trades on the Nasdaq. This stock was up 10%. CHMA had a very good week, up 14% on CHMA. CVM, a strong week, up 42% for the week. TIS, a strong week, up over 219% for the week on TIS. IZEA, a strong mover this week, up 22%. IDRA, they also got an upgrade this week, up 41% for the week. Price target that was given on this was $15 for IDRA, tier 1 company. So this stock moved up 41% for the week. ECYT, this stock was up 13% for the week. XERS also had a very nice week. A recent IPO stock was up 12% for the week, and that's some of your best stocks for the week. Some of your worst stocks for the week, and we'll start out with Tesla, with all the SEC continuing on with their investigation on the Elon Musk tweet. So Tesla ended up down 14% for the week. Nvidia, after their earnings were probably priced in. The stock has made a huge move, so this stock ended up down 4% for the week. AMAT, after their earnings, stock dropped 9% for the week. Gold, with the dollar being very strong, gold was very weak. NEM, Newmont Mining, down 10%. GG, another one, down 10%. That was a few of the gold miners. Macy's, after reporting their earnings and not being able to get up over the 200 SMA on the weekly chart, this stock ended up down 10% for the week on Macy's. DDS also dropped 13% for the week. Intel had a week down 4% this week. JCPenney reported earnings. Stock dropped down 26%. Citigroup coming out and putting a 50-cent target on JCPenney. So that stock very weak. RIG was down 14% this week as oil took a hit. Schlumberger, another member of the OIH services sector, down 5% for the week. Halliburton was also down 5% for the week. DO took a hit. This stock dropped 12% for the week. So the oil stocks took a big hit as the dollar moved up, oil moved down. APC, another one in the oil sector patch, down 7%. Micron Technologies was down 8% for the week, and as you can see, it is remaining below the 10 SMA on the weekly chart there on MU. Riot, CNBC coming out with another negative report on Riot. Stock down 23% as cryptocurrencies also moved down this week. Riot taking a big hit there on that name. Also, be careful of a T12 possible halt on Riot, still being investigated by the SEC. Cree had their earnings come out. Stock dropped 10% for the week. JNUG over there in the gold patch dropped 29% for the week. Pass, a silver stock, dropped 7% for the week. WPM, Wheaton Precious Metals, down 12% for the week. SCHN, a steel stock, dropped 14% for the week. PTIE, they announced that they're going to be doing an offering. Stock dropped 19% for the week. It had actually in the beginning of the week had nice movement in it, and then they came out with that offering, and the stock just dropped 19% for the week there on PTIE. SBBP, they actually pulled their offering off the table, but still the stock for the week down 16% for the week on Strongbridge Biopharma here. That stock down 16% for the week. They canceled their offering, but still no help there. SYN, they had done a 1 for 35% reverse split on SYN, and the stock dropped 29% on SYN. JKS had earnings. China stock down 23% for the week. HUYA, another China stock that took a hit, down 20%. IQ dropped 10% for the week. Now, IQ actually bounced up on Friday, and a lot of the China names bounced back on Friday as the China news came out, as the China is sending a delegation to the U.S. Towards the end of August. So some of the China stocks did move up on Friday, as you can see here with BABA. There was a nice, regain, trying to get back over the 5 EMA here on BABA. So that's some of your best and worst stocks for the week. Some of your top insider purchases that came out over the weekend and from Friday's close, we had ANDX WTW with an insider purchase. ARCO had a CFO purchased 10,000 shares. PENN, PENN, CEO purchased 100,000 shares. XNet director purchased over 3,000 shares on XENT. Earn had an insider purchase of over 33,000 shares at $11.40. This, once again, top insider purchases courtesy of the trade exchange built for traders by traders. Let's get ready for the week ahead. Like I said, we're still going to have China on our plate moving in the weeks ahead as we go into the end of August. We're also going to have still some earnings coming out, some economic information coming out that could move the market, such as the FOMC minutes. We'll have Turkey still on our plate next week, but right now, traders and investors are ignoring the headline news at the moment. As you can see, risk was back on for the SPY on Friday. The Dow Jones stocks have been moving us up nicely. We're holding above this 25,000 area, holding above the 10 SMA on the daily chart, trying to push up on the Dow Jones. The weekly chart of the Dow holding above the 10 SMA. So we'll have to see what Monday's going to bring, but Friday was definitely risk on. As far as the FXI and the China stocks, kind of still down here at the lows. If you want to watch the yin, this is the China Bull ETF, and the Yang is the China Bear ETF. So we'll be watching the XRT into the week ahead as we have Kohl's, TJ Maxx will be reporting, Urban will be reporting, Targets, Lowe's, L Brands, BABA, also Children's Place will be reporting earnings next week. So we have a lot on our plate next week. We have some Fed speak coming out next week. We have the Jackson Hole symposium meeting starting next week. So a lot on our plate to keep us busy. And this is Mike from ZoZoStockWatch.com. I'll be doing a stocks to watch video that'll be out later on this evening. Everybody have a good rest of your weekend.